Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever video on this channel. Today we're going to be creating a timer automation with lights that I use in my daily life. Let's get into the video. Welcome to the first ever video on my channel. I'm Tyler. Welcome to Home Automations with Tyler, and today we are going to be creating a timer automation. This automation will be used to set maybe an amount of time to read or really do anything as a timer. I use it to read because I have a set amount of time to read for homework. I don't want to read a little bit less, nor do I want to read a little bit more than it because I can't read I can't read a lower time than that, and I really just want to kind of have my own time to myself during that because I'm not too much of a fan of reading. But anyways, that's yeah. So this automation helps me as well, so that's how you know that it works. Anyways, it could be used for anything though. We'll start off with a simple notification when the timer is over, and then we'll add warnings midway, 3/4 of the way, etc. So let's get into creating this automation. First off, I'll begin with loading up Node-RED, because in my opinion, that is pretty important. So, and to help organize things, I will add a second flow. You guys don't need to do this. And then I'll just name it timer. But I do this for two reasons. Number one is because it's easier to explain things because things I can spread out more and I have my own flow. And then the other reason is that so I can control the automations. If I can control the automations easily, then like I could turn each automation off without needing to maybe turn off the starting node, and maybe there's multiple starting nodes that just turn off the flow, because you can deactivate that just by double clicking it and tapping enabled at the bottom, tapping done, and then tapping deploy, and then it's gone and it doesn't work. But this may be impractical for some of you, so that's just your decision. Also, one other thing that I will do is, first off, my Node-RED is in dark mode. That is a decision that you can make. If you would like to do that, you need to go into Supervisor, tap on Node-RED, and then do Open Web UI. Actually, no. You want to go in. It's kind of complicated. You want to go to Configuration, and then where it says dark mode, you want to change that to false to turn it back on. I need to restart it, and then you have a white mode. Node-RED. It might take a moment to restart, but that's just what kind of happens. Once it's restarted, I'm actually just going to restart it myself so that alright, restart. It may be dark for this time being, but while we're doing that, and now that I've created that, what I'm going to do, as you can see now, it's all in white mode. But for me, what I am going to do is I am going to make it dark mode because I specifically enjoy dark mode. True. Alright, so now that I've showed you guys that, we are going to go into the next thing, and that is helpers. This is how we're going to create the automation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap the plus in the bottom right, and then I'm going to tap toggle. And then here is where it gets a little bit customizable. Right now I'm just going to do timer automation. But this will be anything. So you can add this to your dashboard, and then icon. So icons are completely your choosing. You can decide what you want to do with icons. But for me, I want to have, but for me specifically, I want to have a nice icon for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to home. I'm going to go to this website. I'll try to leave a link for it in the description. It is cdn.materialdesignicons.com/4.9.95. So what this is it gives you a whole bunch of icons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Control F, and I'm going to type in timer. And then I'm going to use the up and down arrows to then find a timer that I like. And the one that it's looking at will be highlighted orange. I like this one. I'll click it, it copies it to keyboard, and then I'll head back to Home Assistant. I'll type it in, and it's all red. The reason that this is because the dash needs to be a colon. Once that happens, you'll get a preview, click on Create, and now it's there. What I'm going to do, and this is completely your decision, is I'm going to add it to the dashboard. If you have not used Config UI on the dashboard yet, this is already there. But I have already taken control of my UI. That's how I have video topic there. So, if you want to take control of your UI, you just click on this, click on edit dashboard, and then it'll tell you it does nothing adds itself. So you need to add everything manually, but you get more control over your UI. And then what I do is I just hit start with an empty dashboard, because I kind of want a dashboard that is completely empty so I can customize it. But if you've already edited the dashboard already, you're going to click on edit dashboard, tap the plus icon, and then here's where it gets even more customizable. You can choose between different things So what you can, for me, I'm going to choose button, but you can choose entity, you can choose glance, or whatever. You can choose light if it's a light. Really, so I'm just going to hit button. And I'm going to change what it says switched up present light. I'm going to change this to timer. So once you do that, you'll see timer automation, and it's actually showing this. I'm okay with that. And you can always change a whole bunch of things. Then tap action and hold action. See, this is where it gets cool. So the tap action is just when you click on it once. So you can do navigate, URL, call service, no action, toggle, more info, or default action. Hold action is the same thing. So this is if you hold the mouse down. I'm going to keep it like this. So now, if I press this, I can turn it on, I can turn it off, and then I can do this to get more info. And it says turned on and turned off by Tyler. So, now that we have this in here, and now that we have Node-RED up, we're going to work on the timer. So what you're going to start off with doing is pull out events::state, and you're going to type in your entity ID. What I recommend is just typing the name and then timer popped up. What I recommend is, even if you just copy what it says, I'd recommend going and I recommend just clicking on it, just in case you made one spelling mistake and it doesn't work. And I'm going to tap on. Once I do that, I'll click deploy, because I want to be safe about it, and I'll pull it back. I'm going to name it. I'm going to call it let's see. I think I'm going to call it, we'll see. We'll do timer starts. Starts. So timer starts. I'll type that up, and then under filter nodes, I'll type in timer. What I personally am going to do is a stop timer. You can also do a wait or delay. They literally do the same things. It's just you type it up a little bit differently. But for me personally, I'm used to the stop timers. Now here is where you pick how much time you want your timer to be. For me personally, I'm going to do 30 seconds so I can show you it working. But you could do 30 minutes or anything. And if you want to change it to minutes, just click on seconds, click on minutes, maybe hours, maybe milliseconds. I'm going to do seconds though. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to take if state is true, pull this, and press deploy. So now you can see that now this is connected. So if I now go into Home Assistant, turn on timer automation, I load up Node-RED again, you're going to see that it's running the 30-second timer, which is pretty cool. Another thing that I forgot to mention that I am doing is I am also changing the way I'm deploying is through modified nodes, because then if I'm not actually modifying, for example, this, it doesn't mess up any of my automations. So like this will keep running if I, for example, add this call service here. Yeah, confirm the deploy. It'll keep everything, which is nice. I like that. That's personally how I would go by the deploy. Only deploying the nodes that you've used. Anyways, let's get into what we're doing next. So now, if you want to make your lights go red, I'm going to do red, for example. You're going to pull out a call service. This is under Home Assistant, and you're going to want to go in this menu. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing. You're going to want to type in, or for your name, I'm just going to call it red lights specifically. I don't really know. Domain, you want to change it to light. If it's a light, then you want to change it to light. If it's like an outlet that has a light connected to it, you're going to want to do switch. Same with if it's a smart switch. And yeah, you have all of these. Just find the one that you think is the closest. So switch is like smart switches and smart outlets. And light is smart lights and smart strips. I'm going to do light specifically because I'm going to use my wall lights. Do turn on, that is important. And type in your entity ID. So your entity ID is where you can see. That's where you put your light. I'm going to do wall because that's my wall lights. Tyler's wall, and I have 2 light strips. I have a 32 foot and a 16 foot. So that's what I'm going to do. And now data. This is where it gets kind of confusing. What you're going to want to do is put the squiggly brackets like this. Type in RGB underscore color, and this may not work. Type in RGB underscore color. I'm doing the property things. RGB underscore color, and then do equals. Alright, so you're going to want to do RGB color, put it in quotation marks here, put colon. So after you put a colon in, you're going to want to put in a straight bracket, not squigglies, straight, and type in your RGB values. And RGB, red, green, blue. So I'm going to do 255 because that's the max. 0. Or make sure to put a space there. Comma, 0. Make sure there's commas. There needs to be commas for it to work. Put in your straight brackets and then your squiggly brackets. That turns the lights red. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out another timer, and this is optional at this point. I'm going to pull out another timer, and then I'm going, I don't know, 5 seconds, sure. And then, actually, I'll just make it 2 seconds. And then I'll grab red lights. I'll do this again. I'll do white lights. And now here is where you can change your lights back to normal. I'm specifically going to do 255, 255, and 255 to bring them back to white. If you have an R2BW or WW light strip, which means you can change the white temperature, then it's going to be a little bit different. in which case I do not know how to do that. So you're probably going to have to watch another tutorial or a tutorial from me depending on whenever you're watching this video. I'll probably have a tutorial out sometime in this channel's life. Anyways, now that this is here, I'm going to connect them. Personally, I do additional payload. I don't think there's a difference. There doesn't seem to be a difference to me. I use original payload and additional payload in different automations. It hasn't done a single thing differently. If it has done things differently for you, then let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, here is our automation. So the timer starts. So your automation is done. The timer starts, a 30-second timer activates, the lights go red, and then after 2 seconds, they go back to white. Let's test it out. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a light for wall lights. I'm just going to do wall 32 here. So you can see wall 32 here. I'm going to turn off Tiler automation and timer automation. So another thing that you might want to do is turn them to white when you turn it on. That's completely your decision. I'm personally not going to do that. I do it. Oh, right, you do need to make them turn on. So I'm going to turn them on here. But if you want to make them turn on, what you're going to want to do, and I'm going to turn them to white, turn white lights, copy white lights, do tap the node, click on the node, do Control C, and then just drag out stay as true, and then boom. Another way you could do it is delete this, put in white lights, and then just connect it up here. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to deploy it. It did just go through the automation. So let's try it again. I'm going to turn the lights off. You press it, they turn on, and then we wait. So while we're waiting, there's also more that you can do with this automation that I'll show you in a moment once this automation has been completed, and then you'll see it should turn red. I'll go into full screen so you can actually watch it change. Should change to red anytime soon now. It changed to red. It goes back to white, and that's how you know that the timer just ended. So, if there is more, but that is if you just want this, then that's it. But there is more. You can. So now you have the timer that changes to any color. When the timer ends, I'm doing red. But let's step it up a notch and add warnings during the timer. So, yeah, let's get into Node-RED. What you're going to want to do, you don't need to delete anything. All you need to do is change the 30-second timer to, I'm just going to do 15. This is halfway through. So now, instead of it changing the red lights, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to grab another 15-second timer, attach it to here. Keep in mind this automation is a little bit messy, but I'm just trying my best here. You can probably follow the notes and stuff. And now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to Tiler Wall 32 again, and then I'm going to grab an orange color. Then I'm going to go into, how I'm going to grab the color state is I'm going to go into Developer Tools, find the wall light, so 32, and then I'm going to see RGB color 255, 126, and 0. If you want to do orange, that's the orange color. 255, 126, 0. 255, 126. So now, what this should do is now, I'm going to turn off the light, and let's try this out. So it's going to turn it on to yellow, to white. Right now, Home Assistant just shows it as yellow, but it really is white. So we wait, and we wait a little bit shorter time this time, and then it changes to orange. And then here, so here is where you debug. So what you're going to want to do now is, because now it's forced to orange, what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to add another 2-second timer here and attach this to that. And then, yeah. And then actually you want to attach this to I'm actually going to make this a 17-second timer, but you may need to add a second timer that's 15 seconds. And then once you do that, let's try it out. I'll turn off the light. Boom. And then after 15 seconds, it will change to orange to warn you you're halfway through. This might be yellow, this might be pink, this could be any color you want. See, it changed to orange. And then after and then see, again, I made a mistake. See, so this is one of the things about automations. You make mistakes along the way. See, I'm going to grab a 2-second timer here. And then I'm going to change. I'm going to pull up white lights. I'm going to pull it here. Remember, while it may seem like this makes this look like I'm making mistakes, while I am, remember, this is how automation works. You make mistakes and then you learn from them. That's how really life works. That's how all these automations, they work. You make mistakes and you learn from them to make it cool. Anyways, now, this should be the moment. I'll turn on timer automation, and then you watch it. And then it could change to orange, yellow, any color you really want to. I specifically chose orange because it's easier to see here. You see it change back to orange and then back to white. And then check it out, because now it will turn back to, it'll change to red now, probably about now. Yeah, or your other color, and then change it back to white. And then if you really want to, you can turn the lights off if you really want to. So you have now created a timer automation. If you're looking to just not follow it, here is the automation. Here's the automation for you. I'll just go through everything quickly. Pause the video if you want to look at everything. So, yeah. You can always clean this up if you want to, or you could do it like this. And I would recommend just pausing the video if you want to actually look at these. Anyways, that is the reading time, or I call the reading time, or a timer automation. I am so excited. That was the timer automation. So, yeah. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to like, subscribe, click the bell icon to get notified. Leave a comment saying how you would use this automation and maybe some more automation suggestions. Remember, that is all optional. Thank you for watching, and I will see you whenever I upload next. Bye, everyone!